This lesson is for 4th grade, Module 5, Lesson 17. In this lesson, we're going to look at the connection between addition and subtraction of fractions. The first section says to use the following 3 fractions to write 2 addition and 2 subtraction number sentences. In problem A, I have the fractions 8/5, 2/5, and 10/5. I'm going to write 2 different addition problems using those numbers. Since 10/5 is the largest of the 3, I know that that will end up being my sum. So I'm going to start by adding 8/5 to 2/5. Since 8 plus 2 is 10, that becomes my numerator. When I'm adding fractions, I don't add the denominators, so the denominator will stay a 5. 8/5 plus 2/5 equals 10/5. And then I know through the commutative property for addition that I can reverse my addends and still get the same sum. That means all I have to do is write 2/5 plus 8/5, and I also get 10/5. For subtraction, I'm going to start with my 10/5. From that, I'll subtract 8/5. Well, 10 minus 8 is 2. That leaves me with 2 pieces that are still fifths. So 10/5 minus 8/5 equals 2/5. And again, I'll start with my 10/5. And this time I'll subtract the 2/5. 10 minus 2 is 8. Denominators stay the same. 10/5 minus 2/5 equals 8/5. Just like we have those related facts with regular addition and subtraction, we can still look at those related facts when we're adding and subtracting fractions. In this section, we're going to model our addition on a number line. My first problem is 1 1/4 plus 2/4. My first step would be to find 1 1/4 on the number line. Well, 1 is my whole number, and then I have 1/4 beyond that. I'll start by finding my 1 whole on the number line. Well, here's my 1 whole, and all I need to do is move 1/4 beyond that. This mark is my starting point, 1 1/4. To that, I'll add 2/4. Well, my number line has been broken into fourths because between each whole number, there are 4 sections. That means all I need to do is hop forward 2/4. Here's 1/4, here's 2/4. So this dot represents my sum. Now to label that, I would say I'm past 1 whole, but I'm not quite to the 2 wholes. I'm 3 pieces past the whole. Each piece or each section is a 1/4. I can highlight that to show you that I am 3/4 past that 1 whole, so it's a little bit easier to see why my sum is 1 3/4. Here's another example. This time I'm adding 1 1/3 plus 1/3. I need to start by finding 1 1/3 on the number line. That means I have 1 whole and then 1/3 beyond that. If I start at my 1 whole and hop 1/3 beyond that, that shows me 1 1/3. To that, I just need to add another third. My number line has been divided into thirds, so I just need to hop forward 1 more section. This shows that I'm adding 1/3. Here's my sum. Now to figure out my sum, I know I'm in between 1 whole and 2 wholes, so that's 1, and then I'm 2 sections past the 1 whole. So that means I'm 2/3 past that 1 whole. So my sum is 1 2/3. In this section, we're going to subtract, but instead of hopping backwards on the number line, we're going to show how we can find the difference between 2 numbers by counting up on the number line. In this problem, we have 1 minus 3/4. What we're really trying to find out is how far apart 1 and 3/4 are on the number line. To use this strategy, we'll locate both of these numbers. So we have 1 on the number line and we have 3/4 on the number line. I'm going to count up from 3/4 to show how far apart 3/4 and 1 are. you can see that we just have to make one hop of 1/4. So this is a quick way to show the subtraction rather than hopping backwards. We plot the two numbers and then just show how far apart they are in the number line. This tells me that 1 minus 3/4 equals 1/4. Here's another example. The problem is 1 minus 3/5. I'm going to plot both these numbers. Here's my 1, and for 3/5, I start from 0 and I just count over 3 sections. Here's my 3/5. Now I just have to find the difference between the two on the number line. To get from 3/5 to 1/2, I would jump 2/5. That tells me that 1 minus 3/5 equals 2/5. Let's do one more problem. This one is 1 3/6 minus 4/6. I'll find each number on the number line. Well, 1 3/6 means I have 1/2 and then 3 sections after that. So 1, 2, 3, here's 1 3/6. And then I need to find the 4/6. So I'll start at the 0, count over 4 sections. Here's my 4/6. Now I just have to find out the difference between the two on the number line. So if I hop from 4/6 to 1 3/6, I can count how many 6 I hopped. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That tells me that 1 3/6 minus 4/6 equals 5/6. So counting up on the number line is a strategy that we can use when we're trying to find the difference between fractions. So it really turns into a good strategy for subtraction.